All right, everybody, welcome to another week of the CBCS Hot List by Eric Norton. I got my fellow panel members with me, and let's just get started, guys. All right, guys, welcome everyone to CBCS Hot List. I got my fellow NY Warriors with me, but before we get started, I'm going to go down the line and introduce everybody so they can let us know what's going on in their week. They all got channels, guys. All the links in the description below. And I'm talking about Man King of the Golden State. What's up, James? What you got going on?
I got nothing going on, really. You can talk to my manager down below me, a.k.a. Joker. You know, he does all my managing and talks about everything that's going on in my life. Other than that, I'm just here to be here. Just being glad. Just glad to be here.
He's being a little humble, but that's, man, like I say, I always call him King of the Dollar Bins, guys. He's always putting out good hauls every week. So make sure y'all check out his channels, if you guys want to see, good hauls. And then we got my man Joker. Joker, what's up? Tell the people what you're going to be doing.
Man, I'm his manager, but I ain't making no money yet. I don't know man, over here, man, on my channel, man, we got East Meets West. You already know, man. On Thursdays, we do CBSI's cover fires. We do a new comic day reviews. Fridays, we do FOC for CBSI. And on Sunday, we have a live podcast show at 7 p.m. Eastern, guys, on our channel, man. James is on it. We got Gomez Comic Collector, Josh Grav, The Doom, and E-Rod 212 sometimes.
No, he's missing.
Where's Zebra? Right. And next we got my man Thoro from Keep It Thoro Comics. What's up, Thoro? Let them know where we can find you.
Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my brothers here on the panel. Yes, come and check us out, guys. Make sure you watch last night's episode of the Indie Spotlight Show. Freaking great damn list. Again, time to run your pockets. You know how we do with that. And every Thursday night, this Wednesday is actually going to be a special one because I'm going to be doing the chop up on a Wednesday because I'm not going to be here because I got to say happy birthday to my baby girl who's turning 1. So, yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Nice, man. Congratulations.
Right.
Happy birthday.
Tell her happy birthday from the NY Warrior family and from the CBCS family. Right.
No doubt.
All right, guys. Remember the link in the description below, and also for the article, guys. If you want to read along with the article, it's listed below, guys, so you can follow along with us. Because I don't read everything that Eric writes, so read it. He puts a lot of humor into the articles and stuff. You guys will enjoy it. But before we get to this list, real quick, I got the winner, guys. I ran a randomizer right before we started the whole recording, and the winner for the 2 weeks ago, the CBCS Hot List, the original little art sketch from Iron Man that Eric donated, to give to the channel, and this is the winner, guys. That's right, Astro Wizard. Congratulations, you won that custom coaster drawn with Iron Man on it. So when you get a chance, just hit me up on IG. My Instagram is Biggies, like you see on the banner there, _comics. Give me an address, and I'll forward that to Eric, and he'll get you that prize mailed to you as soon as possible. All right. So congratulations. All right. So let's get right into it. First book on the list right here, man. We got Thor Annual number 18 from June of 1993, and this is the first cameo of Loki as a lady, guys. So we all know why this guy made the hot list. The Loki show aired last week, and I'm looking forward to the next episode this week. So let me just read a little bit of what Eric wrote about this book real quick. So he said the speculation of Lady Loki is strong in the MCU. In fact, some believe we'll see her on this week's episode of Loki. With that in mind, Thor Annual number 18 is the book that collectors and flippers are glamoring over. Aside from the first appearances, this book gives readers the first cameo of Loki as a woman, a point that I discussed in Loki Glorious Purpose Easter Eggs article last week. Yo, check that out, guys. Go to the Becker website. He did a dope-ass article when the first episode of Loki aired. And he also states in this article that the increase in sales was over 3,000%, guys. So I'm gonna go down the line. I'm gonna start with man James. James, what are your thoughts on Thor Annual number 18?
I mean, 3,000% tells you right there that these things have been sitting in back issue bins just collecting dust. Yeah. I mean, like it is definitely one of those. It definitely came out around the same time, like say, like a bunch of the annuals for Marvel with the poly bags. X-Men annual poly bag, books were out, and no one were picking those up either. So if they're not picking those up, this can still be had. You can still find something like this in a back issue bin. You just got to go where people don't go and pick it up.
Yeah. And Thoro, what are your thoughts on Thor Annual 18?
Man, listen, it's like King of the Golden State said, bro. These things are just sitting there in the back bins, and nobody freaking really even bats an eye at these things. I mean, no pun intended to Batman.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about Batman earlier, but that's a great book, man. I mean, especially if you've been a Thor collector, you have that annual in the collection. I personally have one. It's always a great issue. I've been starting to notice a trend now. Starting to notice that a lot of folks are starting to pick up cameos. Not only the first appearances, but they're also going for cameos and second appearances. So be aware of that, collectors, because as you guys never know where the hell collecting the new collecting trend is going to end up at, or what's it going to eventually turn into. It's just every freaking several months or a year, everything changes. So I mean, again, great book, especially with a freaking badass show, because that's probably the only Marvel show that's been good so far on Disney. Don't tell that to King of the Golden State. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on that.
All right, and Joker, what are your thoughts on Thor Annual?
With a Loki as a lady. I mean, this is something cool, man. We've seen the last scene on that Loki first episode. Who it is, we don't know. We'll find out, man, on this week's episode of Loki. I think it was Wednesdays or Fridays?
Yeah, it's Wednesdays. It's Wednesdays now.
All
yeah.
right. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's good to see that the people who specking, like how they spec on WandaVision, kind of toned down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because they were going crazy before.
They're still going crazy.
I don't see it as much now with Loki that was going on with WandaVision. But at the same time, it's only one episode, right? So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
We'll see how it goes. And we don't, fortunately, we don't have to wait too long,
Yeah.
It's already here, By the time you see this video, the episode is already out. So, And so let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next book on the list here. And this is a book that I've never seen before. We have here Red Thorne #1. This is Vertigo, which is owned by DC from January 2016. And the reason this made the hot list is because it was optioned by BCC Scotland.
BBC.
No, BBC. I thought it was BBC. Yeah, BBC. That's what I said. BBC.
It's BBC.
It's BBC. Yeah, British broadcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scotland. So let me just read on the list. Let me read on the article a little bit of what Eric wrote. He said for children of the 90s, Red Thorne #1 reminds me of Cool World, but way less Brad Pitt. If you don't get that reference, that's okay. The gist of this book is that has been optioned by BBC Scotland. Young lady's art comes to life and chaos, happens. The news of the option was enough to bump sales of this book by 2,000% over this week. That's why I landed on the #2 spot in the CBCS Hot list. So, James, what are your thoughts on Red Thorne, man?
Yeah, you know what? I found these first issues recently, believe it or not, dollar bin, but also you can still find these, sometimes comic shops put these in packs, as far as miniseries packs. You can still find those in comic shops, but it's definitely, I flipped through it a couple pages. It looked pretty good. So, I mean, it's not one of those things where it's something that's quick to flip only, but also something it might be interesting to read. Vertigo books are always good to read.
And the thing about books like this is that sometimes you don't know about them until a show comes out. And then you watch the show, and then you get interested in the book. I've learned about a lot of comics that way. You know what I mean? Not always just picking up everything, because there's no way of picking up every comic book. It's just too many. So I'm interested in this one. And Thoro, what are your thoughts on Red Thorne?
Hey man, listen, I'm really enjoying. I'm in the same boat like King of the Golden State. As far as Vertigo, I'm finally glad that a lot of this is freaking getting some love, and I would wish that DC would bring Vertigo back. Red Thorne, very freaking interesting story. I don't know if it's going to transition, in my personal opinion. I don't know if it's going to transition well to a show. So I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with this. So again, I'm one can only hope. I mean, I hope it doesn't end up with the Jupiter's Legacy curse, where Jupiter's Legacy, they were doing that. Some people enjoyed it, other folks are like, it was okay. For me, it was all right. I don't want to see it go down that road. I mean, especially being like a Vertigo title. And again, man, Vertigo did freaking ton load of stuff that you guys should definitely check out if you've never checked out any Vertigo titles. So I'm glad, man. Maybe this might start bringing some steam and start picking up some Vertigo books out there, because you never know what they're going to turn into.
Yeah. And Joker, what are your thoughts on Red Thorne?
Yeah, Thoro said, it might not be, it might not fit, for a series, but it might work for a limited series. You know what I mean? Nice little 6-episode limited series. You never know how they do stuff like that. But Vertigo's been good when it comes to doing stuff. Example, Lucifer. Lucifer is a great show. You know, they've been doing great as shows. Is Sweet Tooth Vertigo or is it just DC?
It's Vertigo. Sweet Tooth's Vertigo.
And look at that. That's work too. You know, Sweet Tooth is pretty dope too. So these Vertigos, they got something going on, man. I keep my eye on this one, man. You know, so hey, shout out to
you know, and I haven't watched Sweet Tooth yet. I haven't had a chance to.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
that's good. But to go back a little bit, what Thoro was saying real quick about how the Jupiter's Legacy, some people didn't like it, some people didn't. Now, I was one of the ones that never read Jupiter's Legacy, so for me, as a TV show, watching it, not knowing about the comics, I enjoyed it. But I hear the people that read the comics didn't like it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes not everything is based, you know, like you can't just judge it right away. You got to just watch it. And it's going to be a split and everything, you know. All right, so we're going to move it to the next book on the list, and I'm happy to see a DC book on here finally. You know, so we got Red Hood and the Outlaws #1 from the New 52 from November of 2011. And the reason this made the hot list is because there was a tweet by Corin Walters. So let me read real quick what Eric wrote. He put even more TV hype here in the #3 spot on the CBCS Hot list. This time a simple tweet from Corin Walters sent sales for Red Hood and Outlaws #1 flying over 800%. Now, there are many first appearances and cameos that are key in this book, but my point here is all it took is a tweet. Nothing significant at all, just maybe, possibly, mostly likely the tweet, you know? So I'll be honest, this book, I don't really know about this series. I didn't collect everything from New 52, but when I went to look up the first appearances, none of the companies put anything on their labels or not like that. So it's like, what are the first appearances on here, you know? So I'm gonna go down the line, and James, what are your thoughts on Red Hood and Outlaws #1?
You know what? Here's the thing: if you buy like big lots of comics or whatever, or like piles of stuff that you have hanging around, and you don't realize that you got a Red Hood and the Outlaws in your one of your back issue bins at home, like I did, it's just sitting around. This is the type of a book that just sits around and just collects dust until it becomes a thing. And you might actually have something like this hanging around your house, like I did. And I gave it a little quick read. Former X-Men writer Scott Lobdell, you know, did a great job on the first issue. And another underrated artist, Kenneth Rocafort, did great artwork in this. And you know, I mean, I might actually look to pick up, you know, further copies down the road. And also look for the second print, which is a red background instead of white as well.
Yeah, there's no record-breaking sales on this book. I looked on eBay, but it is moving. You know, like you see, like in the last few weeks, the book has been moving. And Thor, what are your thoughts on Red Hood and Out?
All right, so New 52, man. When DC brought all this stuff out, I've really enjoyed everything New 52 related. I think that was by far probably the best project they could have ever came out with. I remember this. So this one doesn't have any first appearances. I think it mainly has to do with the tweet. And again, man, it's all about who's tweeting, who's doing it. I mean, Donny Cates is notorious for it. Donny Cates, he tweets the living hell out of everything and constantly keeps people wanting more. He's good at that. So this one kind of, I really don't understand why. But again, I guess it's just a tweet that's kind of driving sales up on this book. And just keep this in mind. If you have a Five Below, I will tell you right now, I just went to Five Below the other last week. And inside those Five Below comic book packs that they have for DC, you will find that book in there because I've seen that book sitting on the front. You could clearly see it. There's like about 3 or 4 books, I think, inside each one of those $5 packs. So go and check it out there, Five Below. I'll tell you guys that. But yeah, I'm still very, very interested. I mean, it's a dope story, but I really don't know what's driving that. Unless they're going to come out with like a Red Hood story, it's going to be based off of this. Who the hell knows? But again, pick it up if you can. Those are dollar bin fodder. So
yeah, just one thing you reminded me of what you were stating, that whole, so like somebody tweets and then that happens and it has nothing to do with no TV show, nothing like that. This just proves what we learned during the pandemic, that the comic market without the movie and TV market will still go up because books themselves will make themselves go up, depending on the writer or whatever. And this is, I guess, one of those books that are showing you that it doesn't take a movie or show to make something move, And Joker, what are your thoughts on it, real quick?
Yeah, I for some reason I don't know why I thought it was the current Red Hood, but this is New 52. So listen, man. Right now, y'all forget, man. I don't know what this specific book is about, but Red Hood is going to be in Titans this season, guys. So
yeah.
you know what I mean. So keep an eye on that. You know what I'm saying? Any variants or whatever. If that character does good in Titans, you never know. Might do a spin-off show of Red Hood and the Outlaws. You never know. So this is the first book that you see Red Hood and the Outlaws titled, right? On New 52. So yeah, man, it's something to keep an eye on. Maybe it could be that. You never know what it is. But I'm digging on Red Hood anyway, man. Jason Todd on Red Hood is my second favorite character when it comes to the Batman family. So dope, man. Dope. I like it.
Yeah, he is a badass character.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna move into the number 4 book on the list, right, guys? And the Marvel book, we got Thor number 617 from January of 2011, and the reason this is on the list is because it's the first appearance of Kid Loki, another book because of the Loki show. So let's see what Eric wrote on his article. He said, Lady Loki isn't the only Loki to have influence on the CBCS Hot list this week. Thor 617 is the first appearance of Kid Loki, who happens to be heavily speculated on during the Disney Plus series. That speculation led to a 700% sales and increase in this book in this past week. So your thoughts? Go ahead, James.
You know what? Like about a year ago, I would say this book was like a $15 book or so. Even when they announced that the possibility of Kid Loki being on the Loki TV show, and now this book is like a $50 or $60 book, and that's great and all. The one you want to really look for is the Tron variant. If you could find a Thor 617 Tron variant, right now the highest known sale for that was like about $400 and a high grade.
Yeah, a lot of those Tron books, the variants are nice, man.
They are,
Yeah.
But this one is probably the top one. And actually it was, because like that book is like it's kind of hard to find. I almost considered flipping that thing for a minute at the beginning, but once you see the recent sales, it's out of this world. So if you can find either copy of like 617's regular copy or the Tron variant, I would keep the Tron variant and see if you can flip the 617, because that one keeps climbing.
Yeah, but also, I don't know what the Tron variant looks like, but is he on the cover on the Tron variant also?
He's not on the cover. It's Thor on the cover by it's drawn by Brandon Peterson.
Okay, all right, then Thoro, what are your thoughts on Thor 617?
So this is pretty cool. I'm a big Thor fan. I know, again, the hype that's being driven behind this all has to do with the Loki show. Everybody saw a cloaked, hooded character. A lot of people are believing it's Kid Loki. Again, my personal opinion on that, I honestly just believe it's Loki himself. I just think it's an iteration of himself. I don't think it's a kid. I don't think it's a female Loki. But only one can hope. But that's my personal thing. I feel like he traveled and created like doubles of himself. Kind of like multiply. So that's what I think is happening there. And I think he's coming in. He knows what the hell's happening to him. He got caught up and everything. So I don't know. I mean, still a great book. And I will say it, definitely go and check used bookstores. Go check freaking any bookstore sometimes, because I have comic books sitting in the back somewhere. And that's how I found these books. I've come across them. I picked it up when it came out in the LCS back in the days. Again, man, just a great dope ass book and a dope ass cover and a badass Kid Loki. Really, really like a bad kid. Just gonna put that out there. So yeah.
You already know how I feel about kids in the apocalypse, man.
Exactly.
And Mike, what are your thoughts on Thor 617?
I don't have much to say about this book, man. Dope spec book, I guess. Nice cover, and yeah, man, all due to the Loki show. So yeah, y'all said enough about this book. You know what I mean?
So one thing I want to point out, since we're talking on Loki real quick, and people still have not learned their lesson. Even though you think they learned their lesson, they have not learned about over speculating, because when the trailer was coming out and all the previews were coming out throughout, for the last few months, they showed that scene with him on the plane, with the glasses on and everything, and people were speculating that's a spy version of him. That's one of his variants or whatever, one of his things, but it wasn't. That really was him. He lost a bet. The episode showed you that he lost a bet to Thor, and he really had to do that. So that was already a wrong spec right there. So that people don't over speculate, man. It's like, and that's it, guys. We reached the last book on the list, but before we get to the last book, let me hit you with a few sponsors and a few discounts that you guys can get. And of course, we're gonna start with CBCS, guys. In a world, like I keep saying for days already, in the world where grading companies are raising prices, that's right, the Clear Choice is giving you a 5% discount with the Saving June code, guys. All tiers, guys. All right, and then of course we got the geekyswagshop.com, guys. Use the NY Warriors code, you get 10% off of everything in the Geeky Swag Shop. And of course you got Angie, the owner of SkeletonComics.com, my online LCS right now. NY Warriors gets you 10% off. EMW for East Meets West 10 gets you 10% off, and Thoro 10 gives you 10% as well, guys. All three of those codes are one-off, so use them, guys, if you have not used them yet. And last but not least, we got my man E-Rob, my fellow NY Warrior, 10% off with the Warriors code, so you can get 10% off your pressing and cleaning, guys. So let's go to the last book on the list. And another Marvel book. So we got Defenders number 84 from 1980, guys. The reason this made the hot list is because it's the first battle between Black Panther and Namor. So let me just hit you up with what Eric wrote on the article. And he wrote the final book on this week's CBCS Hot List is Defenders 84. This Hannigan and Buckler book from the 1980s, where readers can find the first battle between Black Panther and Namor. Sales of this book jumped over 600% this week in anticipation of Namor coming to the MCU in the next Black Panther film, guys. So thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna start with James on this one. What's up, James? What do you think about this?
Yeah, definitely a fantastic Bronze Age book, and to flip through something like the Defenders, like that's another title that's completely underrated, is the Defenders.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the things, one of those issues is that particular issue, and I don't know, Black Panther and Namor, they're like not only pick that up, but also see you can find like other things that have to do with Black Panther and Namor. There's a New Avengers issue where I forgot which number it was, where Namor declared war on Wakanda. It's a dollar bin book, just almost like this one. It's not exactly a dollar bin book, but if you can find it in an antique shop, I'd pick it up. I mean, especially even if they're even in mid grade, it's a damn good pickup to have.
Yeah, and Thor, what are your thoughts on Defenders 84?
Friggin' badass book. Again, man, a book that just started climbing. Everything is all based off speculation. A lot of folks saw that actor that they were choosing supposedly to be playing Namor. So it's not 100% certified again, guys. I know everybody is trying to be ahead, man. Everybody's trying to be first. So everybody's trying to be ahead of the game of everybody else, because we know that's, to be honest with you, man, collecting nowadays is all based off of FOMO. I'm gonna say it right now, right here. All right, it's all FOMO based. Everybody, as soon as something comes out and everybody's like, oh damn, that's Namor and Black Panther, then somebody else is gonna come out with some new information and say that really wasn't. This is the real first Namor and Black Panther fight, and then that other book's gonna, everybody. So you just don't know yet. I personally believe Namor's gonna show up in this second Black Panther movie. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so neither.
I think the guy that they got that supposedly is going to be Namor that everybody's claiming, I don't think he's going to be playing that character. I think he's going to be playing another character that I personally have and I'm personally speculating on. So I'll let that out. I'll let the cat out the bag at some point. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for the chop ups, guys. That's when that comes out.
Yeah. It's Aqualad, dude. It's Aqualad.
Yeah. And Mike, what are your thoughts on Defenders 84?
Yeah, I mean, besides what the guy said already, nonetheless, it's a freaking badass cover, man. I enjoy the cover there. But with Hulk, Namor, and Black Panther on it, man. Like James said, man, Defenders, they have some dope ass covers, man. If you really look at that run, they do, man. Yeah. My favorite one is gonna be issue number 1. I love that red or whatever on the cover. So yeah, man, the Defenders is one of my favorites to collect, and that right there, it's pretty dope to know that was the first book that Namor met Black Panther. So I didn't know that before this one. So
yeah, I almost got a complete run of Defenders.
Okay.
My favorite cover of that run is number 10. That's when Hulk
with
Thor.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, my favorite of that run. It's not really the run; it's the first appearance, Marvel feature number 1, the Defenders.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah. That's to me. That's my favorite one. And a lot of people don't know that Neil Adams did that. Neil Adams not really known too much. Not when you think of Neil Adams, you think of Batman and
Green Arrow
and stuff like that. But he did the cover on that one.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Thor was saying about like the FOMO deal. It's like get ahead of everybody and find those like when people meet or when people fight issues before we start talking about stuff like this. So like, because like I picked up that Black Panther Namor fight when it first fought like a while ago, and just like whatever, it was cool to pick up. Get ahead of the curve instead of the whole FOMO kicking in thing. You know?
Yeah, guys, and always keep in mind when you're watching this video that this video is based on the article that he drops on Tuesdays. That means that the information that is based on this article is from last week. So so basically now it's too late, or you're gonna have to pay whatever the price is going for.
That's the thing.
Unless you're king of the Golden State, because he's king of the dollar bins. You already know.
I got it for $1.
I
I got that book for $1.
This is the man that finds the New Mutants 98 for $1 still.
It's true.
It's true. I wouldn't be saying it's not true.
All
right, guys. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Remember, leave a comment in this, in the comment section. Let us know what you think about these books. Let us know if you think there was other books that should have been on the list, and let us know if you have the books too, that are on this list. So that's it, guys. Remember, all the links for everyone is in the description below. And until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace out, everyone.